All right. So 810, we studied about what was the standard was all about. What is the full name of the standard 810?
Summary financial statement.
So you were appointed to report on summary financial statement. This is an engagement to report on the summary financial statement. When we were studying day before yesterday, yesterday, I guess, right? We realized that in this standard, we have a lot of topic to cover. But first of all, we understood that summary financial statements are always derived from the audited financial statement. And who did the audit of financial statement? You only, right? So you did the audit of financial statement, and from the same financial statement, client decided that they will prepare a summary financial statement, right? So what is the meaning of summary financial statement? Summary financial statement is a financial information that is derived from the audited financial statement, but it contains less detail than the over like the normal financial statement, while still providing a standard representation consistent with that provided by the entity's main financial statement, right? So what was your objective over here? You are still the auditor. So what was your, scope of SA 810? This standard deals with auditor's responsibility when undertaking engagement to report on SFS, which is derived from the financial statement audited in accordance with the standards on auditing by the same auditor. Yes? 5 considerations we have under this standard when we had to accept an engagement. First of all, you had decided that you will accept only when you're also engaged to do the audit of financial statement from which summary financial statement are derived. So main financial statement का audit जब आप कर रहे हो तभी आप SFS का भी audit करोगे. The point is, बिफोर एक्सेप्टिंग सच एंगेजमेंट आप पहले डिटरमाइन कर लेना कि क्लाइंट का जो क्राइटेरिया है, द अप्लाइड क्राइटेरिया दैट इज एक्सेप्टेबल. And not necessarily this applied criteria is given by a standard setting organization. It can be given by a law regulation, or management can derive their own applied criteria, right? So in all these 3 conditions, first of all, please ensure that the applied criteria is acceptable. Second, please get in writing 3 things. They ask the client to acknowledge their responsibility that they will prepare the SFS based on the applied criteria. They will also make the audited financial statement available to the intended user along with the SFS. And wherever SFS goes, your audit report on the SFS will be attached. Yes? Now, Point 3, under your acceptance, you had to agree with the management on the form of opinion to be expressed on the SFS. If your client says no, if you are not happy with the point A, that is, they are asking somebody else to do the audit of financial statement, and then they are coming to you for doing the audit of SFS, you will say no, do not accept. Or if the applied criteria is not acceptable, or the 3 responsibilities that you got as an acknowledgement, if that is not there, please do not accept the engagement. Now, it may happen there is a non-compliance of standards on auditing, right? Because the law under which the SFS are prepared, the law does not comply with the SA, right? Now, in that case, please do not mention in your audit report that you have conducted this particular SFS audit as per the standards on auditing. And please include the appropriate reference to this fact in the terms of engagement also. And also determine that because of this conflict, and because you are not following the SA, what effect it may have on the audit of financial statement from which the SFS are derived. Remember, the consistency issue was there. Now, the point here is, we have a topic of what is the procedure you are going to apply when you are doing the audit of SFS. There are 2 procedures. One, you will evaluate certain things. You will evaluate 3 things and you will compare one. Yes? Forum, can you summarize what are the things you are going to evaluate?
First, we have to evaluate that whether the summary financial statements adequately disclose their summarized nature and identify the audited financial statements.
Beautiful.
Then, Second point is if the summary financial statements are not accompanied by the audited financial statements, then clearly describe that from whom or from where we can get the audited financial statements.
Yes.
And the second point is that laws and regulations अगर बोलते हैं कि हमें SFS साथ में मतलब नहीं देना है, then we have to tell that in that.
The fact that should be stated over there. You evaluate whether they have stated that fact or not. Yes.
Yes.
Then
the third point is that whether SFS adequately disclose the applied criteria. Then we have to say that evaluate that the summary financial statements have been prepared as per applied criteria. Then the summary financial statements contain necessary information and are appropriately aggregated as per and are not misleading.
as not misleading, right? Aggregation उसका properly होना चाहिए, and along with that,
that the audited financial statements are available to the intended users without undue difficulty.
correct. And what will you compare along with the evaluation of three things?
That the summary financial statements with the related information in the audited financial statements, and to determine that whether summary financial statements agree with or can be recalculated from the related information in the audited financial statements.
Beautiful. Remember the total income example, right? That I have given revenue from operation and other income, right? Now, in that process, you will go ahead. Now that you have evaluated and you have also compared the information in the audited financial statement and the summary financial statement, right? Now here the question comes, what is the form of opinion? What can be the form of opinion? So if you are going to give an unmodified opinion can be expressed when the SFS are consistent in all material respect with the audited financial statement in accordance with the applied criteria, or the SFS maybe are the fair summary of the audited financial statement as per the applied criteria. However, if the law or regulation prescribed a different wording, so you apply the procedure on SFS to evaluate and compare. So procedure तो वही लगने वाला है, and if further audit procedure is necessary for you to express prescribed opinion, you do the further audit procedure in that case, right? And then you also evaluate whether the user of the SFS might understand the auditor's opinion on the SFS. If so, whether might misunderstand. अगर आपको लग रहा है कि जो SFS के जो intended user है वो शायद ये language को ठीक से समझ नहीं पाएंगे opinion की, वो misunderstand ना कर ले. So if required, you can also provide the additional information in the audit report on SFS which might mitigate the possibility of misunderstanding. Yes. Now we have already gone through the audit report on the summary financial statement. In this, there were some additional considerations, right? When you were writing the audit report, there was some additional consideration. What additional consideration? That audited financial statement from which SFS are derived, either they contain the qualified opinion, EOM para or OM para. So when the auditor's report on the audited financial statement contains a qualification, EOM para or OM para, but you are satisfied. This is only the case of qualified EOM para and OM para, guys, right? You are satisfied that the SFS in all material respect are prepared as per the audited, are derived from the auditor's report. So in that case, you shall include the reference of a statement about the qualification EOM and OM, and you may also describe the basis of the qualified opinion in the SFS report, and EOM para and OM para. Along with that, please also consider, is there going to be any effect of that qualification or EOM para and OM para on your report of summary financial statement? Yes. This is only the case of qualification, EOM and OM in the original audit report, main audit report. But the problem here is the main audit report doesn't contain the qualification. Rather, it contained a adverse opinion and disclaimer of opinion. Devashri, can you please conclude what will happen if the original financial statement audit report contains the adverse opinion or disclaimer of opinion?
Ma'am, we'll have to state if the original audit report contains an adverse opinion or a disclaimer of opinion, then we'll have to state that the audited financial statements contain adverse or disclaimer of opinion, describe the basis for that opinion, and then we will have to state that as a result of that adverse or disclaimer of opinion, we are unable to form an opinion here.
Create to
express an opinion on the summary financial
statement. क्योंकि जिससे डिराइव किया बॉस उसी में एडवर्स डिस्क्लेमर है, तो हम किस बेसिस पर यहाँ पर सब बोल देंगे कि इट इज अ फेयर समरी ऑफ इट, राइट? नाउ मॉडिफाइड, इफ यू वांट टू गिव द मॉडिफाइड ओपिनियन ऑन SFS, अंडर व्हाट सर्कमस्टेंसेस यू कैन गेट द मॉडिफाइड ओपिनियन, कोमल? On SFS की बात कर रही हूं मैं.
When our summarized financial statements are not consistent in all material respect with the audited financial statement and it's
As per
not
the
giving the
what criteria?
applied criteria.
Yes. And
And when summarized financial statements do not present fairly the summary of audited financial statement as per applied criteria,
yes,
and management disagrees to make any changes.
just that you have suggested, then in that case you can you can express an adverse opinion on the SFS, right? Now, because now the SFS are prepared only for an intended purposes, right? So definitely there will be a restriction on the distribution and distribution or use. So when the distribution or use of auditor's report on the audited financial statement is restricted, or alert the readers that the financial statements are prepared as per the SFS, auditor shall include the similar restriction or alert the readers in the auditor's report on the SFS. Now here the thing is about the comparatives. This is something special we studied over here. What? That if the audited financial statement contains a comparative, पिछले साल का भी information was given in the audited financial statement. But when your client made the summary financial statement, they forgot the previous year financial statement. They are only giving the current year financial statement. So we have to understand whether the omission is reasonable. और हमने क्यों बोला था omission reasonable हो सकता है? What can be the reason then when you feel the omission is reasonable? मेघा, ऐसा कब हो सकता है कि आप बोलोगे कि ठीक है कोई बात नहीं, लास्ट ईयर वाज नॉट गिवन, इट इज फाइन?
When it is as per laws and regulation.
या अप्लाइड क्राइटेरिया में दिया ही नहीं है कि लास्ट ईयर का देना है, तो इट इज रीजनेबल ओनली. नो, जो इंटेंडेड यूजर है उसको नहीं चाहिए पिछले साल का. करेक्ट. सो यू हैड टू डिटरमाइन कि भाई ओमिशन रीजनेबल है या नहीं. एंड देन अगर सपोज आपको अनरीजनेबल लग रहा है तो प्लीज डिटरमाइन इट्स इफेक्ट ऑन द समरी फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट. हाउएवर प्रॉब्लम पता है कहां पर आता है? जहां पर एसएफएस तो एसएफएस में कंपैरेटिव तो है, बट द कंपैरेटिव वर नॉट ऑडिटेड बाय यू. लास्ट ईयर ऑडिटर कोई और था. सो इफ द एसएफएस कंटेन अ कंपैरेटिव दैट वर रिपोर्टेड ऑन बाय द अनदर ऑडिटर, देन ऑडिटर shall report on the SFS shall also contain that the matters that relate to SS 710 requires the auditor to include in the auditor's report on the audited financial statement. That means you will have to extend your audit procedure related to 710 over here, right? Because the last year was not it. तो आपको देखना तो पड़ेगा ना कि भाई कोई मटेरियल मिस स्टेटमेंट तो नहीं है उस केस में, राइट? Guys, there is a problem that there is a summary supplementary information client has included along with the summary financial statement which you have not audited. आपने नहीं ऑडिट किया था, right? So evaluate whether the information can be clearly. Client को बोलो please, if you want to give something like that, एक तुम अलग तरीके, give a different presentation, नीचे लेकर के आओ वो फाइल को. Don't add everything back to back pages में. People get confused about this, right? People can easily get confused about this. So evaluate whether the information can be clearly differentiated from the summary financial statement. If not, then please ask management to change the presentation. If management refuses to do that in auditor's report on the SFS, then if management refuses, then you explain in the audit report that your report on the SFS does not cover that supplementary information. Make sense this point, guys? Now the concern here is your SFS are included as part of a document. Client's SFS, they are going to include as part of a document. This document may contain any other information, like in similar to SS 720. This is again happening with you, where there is another document in which the client is attaching the SFS, and that also contains the other information. What do you do with the other information? You always read and consider that other information, right? You read the other information included in the document containing the summary financial statement and related audit report to consider whether there is a material inconsistency between that other information and the SFS. If auditor identifies material inconsistency hai, so determine whether SFS needs to be revised or other information needs to be revised. If you become aware that their other information needs to be revised, then discuss with the management. Yes? Now, here the Here we dealt with a very special problem that we have not seen in any of the standard that we have studied so far. What was the problem? Management plans to state that auditor has reported on SFS in a document containing the SFS, but they do not plan to include your audit report in that particular document. Now, this is a problematic statement that they want to say that you have done the audit of SFS, but tomorrow audit report they are not including only. Then please ask the management to do so. Request management to include the auditor's report in that document. If management does not do that, please carry out the appropriate action to prevent management from inappropriately associating your name with the SFS in that document. But here the problem is next level only. They have not even engaged you to report on the SFS. You were the auditor of complete financial statement, but they didn't engage you to report on the SFS. But you become aware that entity has a plan to make a statement in the document that refers to the auditor and the fact that the SFS are derived from the audited financial statement. So we agreed on this point that people will think that because this SFS is derived from the audited financial statement, people will assume that you have also audited you have also audited this financial statement, right? Auditor shall satisfy himself that the reference to the auditor is made in the context of audit report of audited financial statement only, and the statement does not make an impression that you have reported on the SFS. If these conditions are not met, please request the management to change the statement to meet them or not to refer your name in the document. If management does not change the statement or delete the reference delete your reference or include your audit report on the SFS, just in case if you have done the audit of SFS, then please advise the management then you disagree with the reference that management is making, and you will carry out action which is designed to prevent the management from inappropriately referring to your name in that document. Are you able to relate to the points, guys? Everyone? Now here we have dealt with another special point. Yes, timing of work and the subsequent event, though it was the last topic, but we also agreed that it is not an unimportant topic. Why unimportant? Because financial statement, normally when you do the audit of complete set of financial statement, you will finish it on a particular day. Then you will start, then client will, based on the audited financial statement, client will prepare the SFS, then he will bring that SFS to you, and then he will ask you to do the audit of SFS. The thing is, there will be time gap between both the audited financial statement and SFS. So are you supposed to evaluate all the transaction and event that happened after your main audit report? The answer is no only, right? But the thing is, when you are doing the audit of SFS on a particular date and you become aware of any situation that already existed on the date of audit report that you wrote on the main of financial statement, then what will you do? You will have to consider and deal with that event and fact. And unless and until you have dealt with that fact, you will not give your report on the SFS, right? So what was the first point? The auditor's report on SFS may be dated later than the date of audit report on the complete set of financial statement, and in such cases, auditor's report on SFS shall state that summary financial statement and audited financial statement do not reflect the event or transaction that occurred subsequent to the date of auditor's report on the main audited financial statement. Yes, we saw this in the audit report pronouncement mein bhi dikha tha. However, if you become aware of the fact that if you become aware that the fact has already existed on the date of audit report on the audited financial statement, but which auditor was unaware of previously, in such cases, auditor shall not issue the report on audit report unless on SFS unless auditor consideration of the fact in relation to SA 560 is completed. Guys, we understood this point very clearly yesterday, but whenever this question come, you will have to write all these 4 points. So first 2 points, that was the amendment latest, very recently they have ICAI is included in the standard, and the last 2 point which says when auditors report on SFS after the completion of audited financial statement, he is not required to obtain the additional evidence on the audited financial statement. Main financial statement के बारे में आपको कोई audit evidence लेने की जरूरत नहीं होती है normally. And the report on the effect of events that occurred subsequent to the date of auditor's report on the audited financial statement, since the summary financial statement are derived from the audited financial statement. And auditor's report on summary financial statement should state that the summary financial statement and audited financial statement do not reflect that the event that occurred subsequent to the date of auditor's report on the audited financial statement. What do you say, guys? Make sense? Better understanding the before, like at least what we have discussed yesterday, वहां से तो थोड़ा अच्छा हो गया अभी 810. Yes. Can we revise now 44 related services 4400?